Hi everybody, how are you? I have sparkles and false eyelashes in today's filter and no makeup on whatsoever. The beauty of filters. How is everybody? Hope you're really well. I don't even know what day of the week it is. What is it? Oh, it's Thursday. It's Thursday, so one more day to the weekend. Yay. What I do know is that we are now in full moon phase. We are now in the full moon phase, which is kind of exciting. We actually haven't had the absolute full moon yet. We're a little bit away from it. In fact, I think it takes place at 7:15 p.m. UK time tonight, obviously, PM. And so, yeah, that's like wherever you are. So that's about 8 hours from now, wherever you are. And I'm going to be doing a free Facebook Live, as I do pretty much every new and full moon, with on the Facebook Hey House Facebook page. I do it there and then I put it onto my own pages. I just sort of copy it across. So if you can catch the live, it'll be on Hey House. And if you can't, just find it on this page and my Moonology page after. You can register for free, so you get a reminder and also you'll get some links that you need on my Facebook events page, which is on this page. Go to events and then find a full moon in Leo online gathering and just register there. And I'll try and broadcast from that page as well, because that sort of diminishes confusion, because sometimes there's a bit of confusion about where I am. I just want to say, if you have my diary, my Moonology diary 2021, which is now officially sold out, yay, apart from the odd copy you might pick up, but it's basically sold out, so I'm very happy about that. Thank you for buying it, everyone. I know it's going to be an amazing year to use it. If you registered your copy, then I'll be announcing who won the mala tonight. I've been really torn about if I should wear the mala and give it some good vibes, like I wore it this morning when we were chanting, or if I should just leave it clear. So what I've decided to do is I wore it chanting, but what I'll do before I send it out is I'll sage it and clear it of all unwanted or negative energy. So you'll get some good chanting vibes from it, but you won't get anything negative, like if I've had any negative feelings or upsets or whatever. Okay, so there are a few things I wanted to talk about. So one of them was about tonight's full moon ceremony. Please join me. I'm going to be out in the garden if it's not raining. I don't know what the weather forecast is actually. And otherwise, it will be, I'll probably be in here and I'll do a 108 petal ceremony or something like that. I'll see what I'll do if I'm inside. So you can register for the free full moon ceremony above or below. And you'll get two. So basically, if you want to do some full moon work as well, we have the Moonlight Club, the Moonlight Collective, actually we called it now, which is free. Again, we do a fair bit of free stuff, and then you pay sort of as you go up into get more and more, kind of go up, but get more in depth information. So this is all free as well. So the free tools for tonight are in the link above or below. If you click on the Moonlight Collective link, there's one that says Moonlight, download the free tools you need here. And so that will give you your full moon forgiveness kit, which includes a meditation you can listen to tonight, which has been listened to something like 50,000 times last time I checked. And other stuff. Someone's saying, what time is it for the ceremony tonight in Australia? I don't know off the top of my head. I think I've probably got the time written on when you go to the event. I think it's probably on that page. And if it's not on that page, just go to timeanddate.com and put in, I think it's 7 p.m. UK time, and then find out. That'll tell you where it is for you. People are saying they love the chanting. Good. We had amazing chanting. We had 100 people today, more than 100 people, which is amazing. So, and just with the tools, with the Moonlight Collective tools, we're actually looking at maybe changing the way we do things and changing our free offerings. So if you do want to grab those things while they're still free, It's moonmessages.com/moonlight, but light is spelled L-I-T-E, like moonlight, because it's the Moonlight Collective. It's the free one at the moment, but we're thinking about changing things up. We've had it free like that for, I don't know, 3-4 years, and we're thinking of changing things up. So that may become part of our Sun, Moon and Stars membership portal. So if you want, or some parts of it might, so if you want to grab it while it's still free, moonmessages.com/moonlight, light, L-I-T-E, and again there's a link above or below. And one more thing I wanted to tell you before I get into the meat of what I'm going to talk to you about today, and a card reading, is that if you have been thinking about buying my book Moonology, which has been out since I think 2016, and it's been in the Amazon astrology bestsellers pretty much all that time, which is incredible. It's been, I think, in the top 10 of Amazon astrology bestsellers, UK, and top 20 of Amazon.com astrology bestsellers for about 235 weeks last time I checked, which is extraordinary. But, you know, it's because the moon's time is here. I just wanted to let you know there is a super special discount on the ebook right now. So if you haven't bought the book and you've been a bit like, oh, I don't know, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, you can get it for a super special discount on Amazon. And again, I've got the link on the page. Yeah, I've got the link on the page. It's a slightly weird one. It's hyperurl.co/moonology. Oh, Odette says, buy it. Moonology book is amazing. Thank you, Odette. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So they're the 3 things I wanted to mention today. But now what I want to mention is something completely different. I'm just going to close my computer there so I don't get that weird light. And what I want to mention is that there's been a new report out, which I'm always happy when there's a new report about the moon that supports everything that we already know. Because I feel like, you know, we're in this little moon bubble and we all do all this stuff, and we do our new moon wishes and we do our full moon releasing. And even though we know we can't affect other people, we can't manipulate other people, we can't change toads into princes and all that, we know that we can change our own lives. And it's a really, really important thing to be aware of. And we all know that the moon cycles affect us hugely. But guess what? Science is catching up. So I wanted to draw your attention today to a report in The Guardian newspaper. Now, The Guardian is one of the better newspapers here in the UK. I'd say it's possibly the best paper in the UK. It's you know, it's a bit left-wing, but in that way it's very independent. It's not really paid for by big business. It's not influenced by big business per se, unlike some of the more right-wing papers that, you know, are kind of in bed with the government a lot of the time. And so what they have said, if you go to The Guardian and just look under moon sleep, moon research finds that people stay up later and sleep less before full moon. So who already knew that? Raise your hand. I definitely already knew that, although I did have a reasonable night's sleep last night. But, you know, I've been saying about sleeping later. It really always hits me even more at the time of the full moon. So if you are someone who's been having trouble sleeping at full moon, it's not because you're a lunatic. And it's not because you're having a self-fulfilling prophecy. What they did is they got people to wear things like this. This is my Fitbit that I wear, which is how I know how I'm sleeping. And so they I don't think the people even knew what was being measured per se. They just kind of did it on the QT, and they found that, as suspected, people stay up later and sleep less before the full moon. Now, which is obviously where we are right now. Now, why would this be? That's what I wanted to sort of discuss as well. Now, I don't think the Guardian newspaper article went into this because it's not really their remit, I suppose, but it's quite good that we're getting this information. And I would like to make a suggestion as to why this is and how that actually works with our practices that we do. Now, okay, so what happens when you start to worry? You know, when you start to think about all the stuff that you've got to deal with, and oh my God, I've got this little fire burning and this little fire burning, I've got to put out that fire and I've got to put out that fire, and this is happening and that's happening. Well, what happens is that it all bubbles up. And when does it bubble up? Especially at full moon. I mean, it can also bubble up if you've got, like this year, we've got the Saturn-Uranus squares coming, and that's going to be pretty darn intense as well. But especially at full moon. So what you need to remember, and I will go into this tonight in the full moon ceremony a bit more, but basically in astrology, the moon represents our feelings, our emotions, okay? And it's what we need. It's what we need. It actually represents food as well, and what feeds us, what we need to feel nourished. And not just food, you know, what we need. Do we need hugs? We need information, we need humor. And if you're the parent of a pre-verbal baby, in other words, a baby that's just been born and can't speak yet, knowing your child's moon sign is really, really useful. I mean, there's a whole book in that because, you know, it will help you to understand what your baby's needs are before they can actually express it. So needs and feelings come up. And as the moon swells to fullness every month, so our feelings swell, okay? And what the result of this is that we start to worry and we start to think and we start to process. And that's why we can't sleep and we stay up later, because we're kind of doing stuff because we're all kind of filled up with all these emotions, and we sleep later because of the full moon, okay? Now, this is not a bad thing, but it's what I have tried to do in all my books. And it really started with this one. This is like the mother book, and the diary is like the baby book, the offshoot. But in Moonology, if you've read it, and if you haven't, as I said, very, very good price today on Amazon. I think it's $1.99 in America for the ebook. I'm not sure. In Australia, it might be like $2.99. You know, it's cheap as chips today for the ebook. But what I teach in there is what we'll do tonight in the ceremony, which is forgiveness and release. And the reason why forgiveness actually helps us is because what happens is that as our emotions come up, you know, either we just stay up all night on the computer or watching TV or eating stuff on the sofa without dealing with anything, and eventually we just fall asleep because we're exhausted, you know, or we start drinking or whatever, or we deal with our stuff. And that's what we do when we do our full moon ceremony, which we're going to do tonight. It's to help us deal with our SHIT, our stuff, the stuff that we need to deal with, you know. And someone's saying they've been down for a few days, you know, that can be anger turned inwards. It can be upset turned inwards. So we always need once a month to deal with this stuff and process it, because otherwise we end up basically toxic with all these unprocessed emotions and upsets. Someone's saying, what time is the ceremony tonight? It's 7 p.m. UK time. If you go to my events page, it's free. If you go to my events page and you click on Full Moon in Leo Gathering, you should get the time in your local time. And if you can't watch it live, don't worry. You'll get the replay. You can see the replay tomorrow. So, you know, that's it basically. Full moon is clean out and release. Okay, and that's why it's a really good idea actually to charge your crystals under the full moon, because when you cleanse and charge your crystals, you know, you're basically releasing any negative energy from them as well, because, you know, everything can get sort of, you know, a bit energized. And if you've had dramas in your life, you know, things get energized. I was actually burning some sage today when we were doing our chanting, ahead of the chanting, just because I just wanted to kind of start the clearing process. So think of the full moon as the clearing process. Ali says, do we need to register? Yeah, you need to register if you want to get the reminder and I think the broadcast. I'm going to try and broadcast from the events page as well as from the Hay House page, but I'll see if I can do that. So there we go. There we go. So what about a card? Who wants a card? Ahead of the full moon. Mary did her full moon forgiveness last night. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's just that the full moon brings up all our feelings. You know, we know that. That's why, you know, that's why ER rooms get overrun at full moon because everyone's going crazy and not dealing with all their SHIT. So what I'm trying to teach here is let's deal with our SHIT. And I would like to say as well, if you have kids, you know, this is an amazing practice. I'm going to try and drag my son Louis in tonight. It's an amazing practice to do with children, to teach them once a month, you know, forgive, move on, let it go. And I'll go into it more tonight, but, you know, letting it go doesn't mean what happened was okay. It just means you're not going to let it bring you down. Okay, so here we have a card. Oh, and it's amazing. It's a lovely, lovely card. It's a time for healing. A time for healing. So there we go. Let's make this a time for healing. All right, so I'm going to leave it there. Someone's saying, where is the chanting link? The chanting link, I can't make it into a recurring event. If anybody knows how to do that, I only seem to be able to do that very sporadically, like kind of on the off chance every now and then. And you can use the link that's there anyway, even though it's from today and not for tomorrow. You can use that link. It still works. It's the same link every day. All right, so a time for healing. I just saw someone saying she and her husband had a massive outburst last night. They've decided to get a divorce. Oh my gosh, that's really intense. So, you know, now is the time for healing. Whatever healing is going to look like for you, you're here for a reason seeing this card. It's a time for healing. And Kelly's saying, is there a replay for this? Yes, in 5 seconds I'm going to end it. And then Facebook will re-upload it so you can watch it. So I'll see you tonight, hopefully around 7 p.m. For the free full moon ceremony. Make sure you register. Look at all the links I've given you above or below. They're all good things. And I'll see you tonight.